Welcome back, everybody. My name is All Funny Games. I stream every day on Twitch TV, and I also make fun videos here on YouTube. Today, we're going to be talking about placement when it comes to special devices such as a fridge and a crockpot. Now, in Don't Starve Together, they haven't really mastered too much when it comes to actually being able to place certain items, as they don't want you to have things get too close. I think there's a reason why Clay has decided to do this. It could be because of a previous way of... maybe if they don't want you to like overlap, or like they don't want entities to be too close to each other to block the characters, stuff like that. So basically, if in a normal situation, if you have decided that you wanted to place a crockpot, for example, first, you would go ahead and you place down all your crockpots, and then you place down the next crockpot, and so on and so on and so on. And then eventually you place down your fridge, and you can place it really close together. However, if you've decided that you want to do a step before and you actually want to put down your fridge first, well, guess what? Now, when you go to place down your crockpot, you might not be able to place it as close as you would like. And then as time goes on, the same thing is going to work for each other crockpot, possibly causing you to not actually get a crockpot as close as you want to the fridge. So the ideal situation is when you access the fridge, you want to be able to go to every single crockpot around and still be able to access it like you are right now. So a few recommendations that a few people have had is that in this situation, you want to probably get to the point where you are actually putting your crockpots down first and then placing your fridge after. However, there are ways of doing this where you're still going to be successfully able to actually place down a ton of a ton of crockpots around your fridge and still be able to access your fridge accordingly. So as you can see, I just did it right there. I kind of did it in a fast format, so hopefully you guys can kind of follow along. I do have a beginner's guide that showcases how to do this completely as well too. So you're more than welcome to check all that out. However, in this situation, you can actually use a mod called Global Positions if it helps you out any. If you don't like using mods, you're just going to have to play around with placement. My recommendation would be actually going through what I said and putting down your crockpots first. Place your crockpots first as close as you want together, so that way they're almost jam-packed. Not too close, but close enough to obviously where they're going to be, close enough to actually like access each other, especially if there's a fridge. Play around with this numerous times, whether to be inside of creative mode or whatever, and then eventually just place down your fridge in the middle. It doesn't have to be looking too pretty, but it has to be nice enough where you're not going to be traveling too far away to access it. So as you can see where I placed down all my stuff here, it actually worked out where I put down my put down my fridge first, then put my crockpots around it, and it actually worked out where I can access my fridge in the middle to all the crockpots here. So yeah, that is thanks to a mod called Geometric Placement, as it tells us exactly where the crockpots are going to be placed, so they're all symmetrical and in the right little format. But yeah, that's how you do it. So just remember, there's certain things that you can place down first, and which afterwards, when you decide to place them down, might get in the way. So for example, another example of this is if you decide to put down drying racks, and then you want to go ahead and place down a fling-o-matic, you might have trouble as time goes on doing so. Where the heck is the fling-o-matic? There it is. As it's going to not let you do it place it too close. However, if you put down a fling-o-matic first, and then you make the drying racks, you can actually get them a little bit closer. Now, ideally, this only really works if you obviously know what item you're going to craft. So, for example, in this situation, I knew that in my normal setups that I'm doing, especially when it comes to like making berry bush farms or things like that, I'm always going to usually try to put the fling-o-matic down first and then go around it after, as it's easier to kind of not have it worse after I've placed the bushes down first and then have to place down my flingo, which might not have enough room. So yeah, but let's just focus on crockpots and fridges, as we know now that you definitely want to make sure that you're putting down your crockpots first and then putting your fridge after. But play around with it. I would suggest creative mode, get used to it first, and then when you're finally ready to go, then you can actually go in your real world and go from there. But just remember, some things get in the way, so don't worry too much if this causes issues for you down the road. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.